It's getting old. Says straight people like rainbows too. And then that's my trademark. It's an exclamation point and a question mark, and they share the same dot. I got a big zit on my nose. I was told in health class one time that when women got zits on their face, that's the side of the ovary that was ovulating. And then every now and again, you see people get them like in the middle of the forehead or on their nose or right down the middle. And I'm like, you must be ovulating right down the middle. Fucking Marge. If I had an acre for every time in my life I've said something that appalled my audience to the point of hearing fucking Marge. At least I don't drink alcohol anymore. Thank you, good orderly direction, for giving me the charge and Marge to be obedient enough to not do that. I woke up in the middle of the night last night. I thought it was like 5:30. I look at my phone, it was 12:30. I was like confounded. I was going to do a live in the middle of the night. I didn't. So I'm trying to put together a portfolio of my life. And I asked a buddy of mine if he'd write me a letter of recommendation, and he really came through. So I'm going to read this, and then I'm going to talk about us, the two spirits. Our souls cannot be contained. We're so expansive, we don't have spirit. We encompass the energy of two, both masculine and feminine. We're energetically androgynous. January 30th, 2026. Let's see if I can do this. Okay, it's just really cool, you know? Because I don't like to ask people for favors. Here we go. January 30th, 2026. To whom it may concern, I have known Margie Hessick for approximately 25 years. We met as teammates while serving in the U.S. Air Force, where she became a reliable and trusted friend to both me and my family. In a male-dominated military culture, Margie faced numerous challenges, which she met with confidence and professionalism while achieving her goals. During this time, she balanced her military service with her studies as a college student while simultaneously volunteering time in the local community. In the years following her military service, Margie set aside her career progression to provide full-time care, long-term care for a family member. She approached this situation with the same confidence and professionalism she demonstrated throughout her life, making a difficult transition appear seamless. My admiration for this act cannot be measured. I know Margie to be a kind, honest, and courteous person who, when placed in a leadership role, is also confident, tenacious, and driven to see things through to completion. She has a chosen career path less traveled, one that best aligns with her pursuit of happiness. While many people encounter significant life obstacles few navigate them with their character and dignity intact, as Margie has. Margie will be an impactful asset to any organization. With confidence, I recommend her for any position or undertaking she chooses to pursue. Feel free to call me if you would like to discuss this recommendation further. You see, Harry, my buddy Harry, he did important things. He is a war hero. He worked and supported in age the Doomsday Plane. You know, the one that everybody talks about? And he also helped me pass algebra. Because I got my brains wired weird, and so numbers get mixed up, and I don't like their order of how they tell me, and I come out with the right answer, and they say you got it wrong because you didn't do it how we told you to. And so I'm breaking the program. So hi, my name's Marge. I'm a Heyoka. I'm an empath. I'm a dark empath. We live and work in the shadows so that people in the light can see that there's nasty stuff in the shadows that they need to be cautious of. We tell the truth whether people want us to or not. There's a lot of people in positions of power and authority that don't want me to run my big mouth. They don't want me to tell the things I say, but they're important. See, they try to break souls. That's what the game of Earth is. It's world wars. They're about the soul, about what they can get good-hearted people to do. For pay? For what? A trade? To learn a trade? So I knew when I was a little kid, like there was something different about me. Hey, what's up? I knew that, and then as I get older, when the planets line up and say, okay, you're about to get a truth bomb, I find stuff out. The truth is given to me because my whole life I've been seeking truth. I have a Scorpio moon, an Aries sun. I defend the truth. I want to know not just that people did something. I want to know what lined up in their mind, body, and buoyant of spirit that allowed him to do these transgressions on earth. Like the government of the United States, the machismo mobs, you know, the frat brats, the bureau brats, because they're all asshats. Washington, D.C. is no different than Hollywood. I got a TikTok. I get things and I go down my own ant holes. I don't go down rabbit holes because that's just a hole. It's just like it could be a mound in the grass. I go down ant holes because there's more caverns and nooks and crannies, and it leads you to different places. It's a much more intricate thing. And Belinda Carlisle, she sang back when I was a kid. She was on like a talk show, an old talk show with that slimy dude, that, God, he's nasty. And people still listen to him. They still waste their life putting his voice in their head. That Stern dude, Howard, scumbag, trash heap. And she mentioned who her husband was, and they didn't say who it was, but Howard had said how rich he was, so I was like, let's see who Belinda Carlisle's husband is. Belinda Carlisle. And her cousin is, or her cousin, not her husband, her spouse, her husband, is a man named Morgan Mason. They got married in 1986. That's Belinda. So you have Hollywood and then you have DC because they're the same thing. Entertainers are more flashy students of poli-sci. Poli-sci are acting classes. Understand? Like you have to act like this. And this verifies this because what this guy was, what did he do? He was an American film producer, actor, and political operative. What's a political operative? Why is somebody a DC and a political operative too? So click on the little link. It'll take me over to Wikipedia if I can get my energy field to calm down enough. Fucking wireless. That's him in 1981. Like, it looks kind of like this program. If this guy were to wear glasses, it's like they got the same operating system. You got this guy, just a good old boy. Just a good old boy. Just good old boys. They don't mean no harm. This guy, I can't believe I ever believed he was straight. I believed my brother. He's not even the same person anymore at all. Dude makes $250,000 a year. He sold his soul to the government to be a paid actor. And he's like, oh no, I can't have my sister in my life. She tells the truth too much. She's going to talk about stupid shit I did when I was a little guy, when I was in my formative years that build my character as to who I am. And because I have made choices to throw my mother and sister away to the wolves of society without any help, like he did, without any remorse or anything. This is like my therapy. Instead of getting mad at him for doing that, I'm not mad at him. I can just talk about it here. And then Virgo men get terribly, terribly embarrassed because I'm just telling my stories, and they think I'm like, it's just stories in life. And people get so mad they want to cause violence because they don't want the rest of the world to know how they act. Because they're actors. They're just paid actors. That's all they are. They're paid to say, we care. He writes back letters back and forth with Newsom and brags to me about that. Our office is exchanging correspondence with the governor's office. Oh, that's nice. I'm so Virgo's a star, right? It depends on the Virgo, because it's about the being balanced being balanced. See, because I'm an Aries, so I'm supposed to want to rage and want, to go to war, but people don't understand they don't get it at all is I've been to fake war. I've been to fake war. I don't want to go to war. I never want to fight with anyone. I will do whatever I can to de-escalate, except sometimes my mouth doesn't cooperate, and I say things, and the things that I say trigger people, and then they want to get violent. And I need to stop doing that too. I just sometimes, I don't know that the thing I say, because I just speak in obvious things. I just say obvious things, Like if somebody takes cuts, I'm going to say that their parents failed. Because somebody that with their parent, mom and dad did a decent job, then their kid would never take cuts. And then the person's like, what? You're talking about my mom? And then they want then they want to, wrestle around on the ground and throw punches and stuff. I'm like, why? Because you're so angry? So in Taos, I want to make a rage room. And if somebody beats me to it, that's cool. I'll do it one day. And then we can have two. Because I'd rather have a place where people go and break shit. And I've been talking about this as long as I've been doing these videos. Like, they need to have rage rooms they need to bring back rest stops for people that travel, where they can do laundry and take showers and take care of themselves. So they can go out in the world and fight against our government to stay alive. Did you know that the police, that's a whole racket in itself. What they do is they got dudes that are like shit stains on the fabric of society, right? And then they call them to the carpet and they come in and say, you're headed for a life of crime, so go in the military. Or you go in the military, or you're just going to end up, in jail. And so they go the military route, but they still have the mentality as a criminal. They're just protected because of who their daddies or uncles were. It's nepotism that always got them out of trouble, and they never had to be accountable for their actions. And
So they just keep doing stuff, right? And they like go into the military because they're the second lowest test score on the military entrance exam. Hey, what's up? So they got to have they take a test, they get a 37, then okay, you can go in the military. We'll clothe you, we'll feed you, we'll give you guns, we'll give you, all the stuff, the boom boom stuff that you can kill. With all you have to do is whatever we tell you to do.
Alright, as long as we can fuck shit up and blow shit up, that sounds like a fucking bitch and rat idea. Let's do some shit.
And it's like, okay. And so now they're the military police. Not like Greenberg, not like special. They're all actors. Flyboys, like real life Tom Cruises. Because we are always doing training. I was a mechanic, so you're always learning new maintenance practices, disciplines. You're always studying. You're always trying to make yourself a better version. That's what the military is supposed to be. And so I had to go to these classes and so I share in snack rooms and stuff, break rooms with these flyboys, and I'm just like, dude, you are not Tom Cruise. You are like, they're like this big, they're like my height. I'm 5'4". I'm height impaired, but I still take up a lot of space. And they're little bitches, man. They don't like getting their. Hey, but that's too bad. That's just what the military is. They're all paid actors. Seaman, are you kidding me? He probably died because they used experiment us. They put us. I think he gave me 8 anthrax vaccine shots. 8. They did studies on people that had anthrax. I know people that got 1. They got a couple. Nobody I have ever heard of that got anthrax vaccines in 03 from Biotech, the company. I have my shot record. It's right there. I go grab it. It only says they give me 1, but it's a series. It's a series, but there's 2 shots. I'm sorry that your dad died. I'm sorry my sister died. I'm sorry that things die. I lost 3 dogs in 11 months. It is the most, you know why? It's because it's like I figured it out with my dogs. Because they all had different voices. So when they died, like, I stopped doing the voices, right? But they're angels now. So I see just their little ghost spirit of where they always sat. And, like, Benny always barking at me. So their energy never dies. They just shift. I had to do a talk last night. I got so upset about the eaglets. About the little I'm fucking pissed with Jackie and Shadow. Fuck you, Jackie and Shadow. Why do you leave the nest? Why did you everybody's like, it's so sad. I'm like, they both left the nest. That's what you get. You get dead baby eagles when the mom and dad leave. So I'm not being sad about that. I'm not watching their shit no more. I can't. Nature's brutal. It's too hard. No, I'm too sensitive. I'm a fragile little flower. I had an AA sponsor. They sacrifice kids just like Hollywood and they're the same. They got the best life in Montana because their kid was lost at sea. Her husband, her stepson, they freaking got lost at and they didn't even get the $250K. It went to the wife, the mother. But they got, and they got they got to go live in Germany on taxpayers' money so she can consult people. I mean, it's all money laundering. Well, I grew up in a single mom household where we didn't have enough money to eat because we had to sacrifice. And how dare we ask for anything more than $55 a month for food stamps for 2 children, one with special need diet restriction. I was hypoglycemic. I'm just a mess because they shot stuff in me when I was a baby. I was supposed to be something else, and then they inverted me. They made me a freak of fucking nature is what they did. Because that's how I explained this to a girl at the restaurant the other day. I said they try to break our spirit. They try to divide us, to give us 2 lives, because I was supposed to be born male. And then they made me female. And I have all the markers, and except I am a female, but my energy is all male. And then they did things to me when I was a 10-month-old baby. I don't live there. It's none of my business. A man did something to me as a 10-month-old baby, and then that made me not want to be with men anymore. So so now I'm a mad little baby. I'm a mad little, like, ain't no fury, like a woman's scorn. And it's worse when they start them as babies, and then we get our feelings perpetually hurt our whole entire lives. They tried. That's how they weaponize people. And then I said, I told the lady do you ever hear about how when people get limbs cut off but they still feel their hand? That's a phantom pain. She's like, yeah, phantom pain. I said, imagine you're in your mom's womb, and at a crucial point when your gestation period, they influence that and make you a female when you should have been a male. And then in your mom, like your spirit knows something is not right. There's knowings, don't keep touching hot things because it'll make your flesh stink and smell and do gross things. Like, we know things that we do and don't do inherently. In our spirit, we know things. And I look at the earth as an experience for the multi-dimension, all things possible realm. So there's a life someplace that if I wouldn't have been manipulated in vitro, things would be much different. There's a timeline out there. Because there's too many manipulators, the keepers of the timeline. No, we're going to go to war again because we got to defend bullshit over. No, we go to war so we could pay ourselves tax-free. When we go over there, we're off in war. Here's tax-free. You don't need to pay taxes because you're off defending words, freedom and democracy, when American citizens are becoming homeless every day, which makes me sick. Especially in New Mexico. There's like 2 million people in the whole state, and every day I'm seeing, especially now, at the end of the fiscal year, you get the reports, and at the beginning of the year, you get the reports about how weed is $1 billion industry from tax dividends from marijuana, and then you got their oil. Hey, what's up? That's another. So, like, aren't we like Alaska, where every month? Why isn't universal income a thing? Because they don't feel like they want people to suffer. That's what they want, people to be impoverished. That's why poverty consciousness exists from the people that, like my brother, that say you don't deserve shit because I live from my heart and I need to work harder. And I'm like, dude, I was 15. You weren't there. He wasn't there. He came to the hospital the night after mom got her head slammed in a car door and fucking yelled at her. Because he's a machismo. So I know what machismo are. And I did my first video with the prison system, and because he benefits, and he doesn't want the public to know what I put together because it puts him in an unfavorable light. And Virgos don't like to be put on blast unless they're balanced. Then they don't mind, they appreciate the accolades. But when you're so secretive, he is such a secretive guy. The only person, he worked in this office for years because he worked in it. Yes, profit for system. In 2017, they said that and now, last time I looked, it was 107,000. Maybe I looked like in the last year. I could look right now. Because it goes up all the time. Oh, let me finish this thought. I was talking about Morgan Mason. So Morgan Mason, his role is Chief of Protocol of the United States. He married Belinda Carlisle back in the 80s. She was a singer. This just supports my notion that Washington, D.C. or Hollywood are the same. Because look at even the rebels like Morrison and all that. Look, if you look up them, their dads are always in the military. John Denver, dad's in the military. Who do you think is paid for their tours? Flipping the bill. Dad, military. Get them to do this so they don't do this. God, why don't people see this? So if you look at what the Chief Protocol of the United States is, it's an officer of the U.S. State's Department of the Department of State responsible for advertising the President of the United States, the Vice President of the United States, and the United States Secretary of State on matters of national and international. They're PR. Every military base has PR. So they can flip and turn and change the narrative. This is how things actually were, but we're going to tell the public that this is how it is. That is America. This is the broad that does it now, Monica Crowley. And then you look her up. You know, look at what school she goes to. Look at all this. They go to the same school. They're all buddies. They're all in the same sororities and fraternities, and they all drink too much and do too much coke. And oh my God, we can't let them know that happened because that would be terribly, terribly embarrassing. Well, this is the year of the horse, and it's the year that people are going to be terribly, terribly embarrassed, and they're going to get knocked off their high horses. So it formed in 1928. America itself is a psyop. So don't go out and waste your time holding your sign. That's all. You're in the loop. You're doing exactly what they want to do. So how much funds are allocated for each California inmate? This is for California now. Now it's up to 127,000. So the government puts people in prisons. Says, you smoke too much weed, you're going to jail. You do it 3 times, you're never getting out. For weed, right? Now it's legal, so now they're like, shall we let them out? Let them out. Anyway, the average annual cost for the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation, CDCR, is to incarcerate inmate is approximately $127,800 to $133,000 per person as of 2025-2026. Budget production. You know what a budget production is? A budget production is new. We're going to use millions on us and there's none for you. That is what a budget production is, folks. So, key cost breakdown. Annual cost over 133. There's that number. 33,000. Ha ha ha. 33. Wonder how many people Freemasons have 33 in their social security numbers, but nobody ever talks about their numbers. So how are you going to know except the employers and the HR and stuff like that? Daily cost approximately $365 per day based on. So that's 300. How come regular people, homeless people on the, if they would have got $365 a day to live, they wouldn't be in jail. You see what I mean? See where I'm going, folks, with this? Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Am I talking to myself here? On how Washington, D.C. or Hollywood is saying? Because my brother, he would have gone Hollywood, but he ain't that ego. He's too self-centered. He's too bashful. He don't want people to know his secrets. So he went the way of Jag, the lawyer, and he can still act like he cares about people and get paid to care about people, but he don't care about people because he threw his own mom and his own sister away. So that's a real good indicator of anything that he ever said is pretty much a lie. So, released allowance, $200 is a set amount that is not increased since 230. Okay. So they have it, so they get paid. So like, why do criminals, they say criminals are worth more, you know, like, it's a racket. It's all, America is such a freaking bogus liar. America is a soundstage. That's what America is. And then they don't have people that are qualified to turn wrenches on maintenance and do things that actually matter, because there's too many people for the last 3 decades that have done nothing else than do things like travel around to the same places that you see all these other people go, but they saw it and they want to go there too, because gosh darn it, that's what important people do. Hawaii. I don't care about Hawaii. There's nothing why would I need to go to Hawaii? I watched Lost. I saw Lost, so I don't need to go to Hawaii. But Marge, things are better in real life. Things are never better in real life than they are in my imagination. I went to NYC and we flew in and I was like looking at the map and I'm looking, so I'm like doing ratio and I'm calculating how I do in my brain and all this stuff. And I was like, huh. In my mind, New York City was probably 3 times the size it is in actually life. So everything is always bigger in my mind. So when people tell me what to believe in, I'm going from an expansive state down to this itty bitty little narrow thing, and my soul just doesn't allow it much. So I go down little ant holes like this, and then let's see. Okay, so we'll say 133K, right? But now an important number that we need to look up is what is the prison population in CA. See, because it's not just the inmates, it's all the stuff, like it's all the uniforms, it's all the gear, it's all the gadgets, it's the trade show, it's support, it's the industry, it's the industry of dominance and control. It's the industry of military dominance. It's the industrial industry. There's no room for soul in that. Okay, as of early 2024, California state prison population is approximately 92,600 to 94,000. It's down from 130,000 in 2014. But see, it doesn't matter because you still have people that, like, it doesn't matter if the numbers are high or low. You have people that pay themselves and keep getting like when people get paid that much money, $250,000 a year, when they get their 3% raise every year, that's like what me and Mom collectively combined our income was for like half a year. And he don't want to help. Like, and I'm not a shitty person. I never did nothing to him. I just do things and I act out, and people are like, I don't want to be associated with her. What they're really saying is I got secrets and I don't ever want this bitch to put them on blast, and she just might because she's autistic and she don't pick up on social cues. So 133,000 times 94. Will my calculator do that on here? Hi, pretty girl. 133,000. Yeah, it's dude, we are run by contrarians. That's how I know who they are. That's how I know Trump is a he's a chaos agent. See, he just doesn't have emotional control. I'm a chaos agent. I just fucking control my shit. He don't, because he's a little bitch and he's mad because his mommy, listen, either they're mad because their mommy tells them they got the golden wiener, and then they go out in the world and then women are like, ew, you're creepy, and then they're like mad about that. Or then they're mad because mommy didn't tell them that they have the golden wiener, and that makes them mad, and so they go out and find all the women that think that they do. So either way, a hole's a hole to those freaking butt benders, as far as I'm concerned. You know, and they make people that are in monogamous relationships that have loyalty and connections to spirit. Like it's a mockery of us, and so I'm gonna mock them. Fuck them. Times. I have a headache. I wonder if the earth is erupting. So $1.2 billion. He's a Gemini. And I have 29 degrees Gemini Saturn in my 12th house. And what Gemini means is, like, you know that expression when you take two steps forward and 1 step back? That's pretty much what you get with the Gemini. Like, they're going to do 2 really freaking rad things, and then they're going to do something that you're just going to not want to know them. You're going to get, they fuck it up. I take the wind out of my own sail because I don't know when to stop. So that's why a lot of times I just will do nothing in life, because I have all this energy and I just put it on things that don't need my energy on it. No, look at society, man. It's driven by little freaking machismos with too much feminine energy. That, see, because everybody has two spirits. We all have masculine and feminine. The problems arise when people that have, like, if you look at my birth chart, it says I'm mostly masculine, and I'm no earth. I got a little fire and enough to stir around my water and my air. I'm a spicy little nugget. People, Mr. Iskey says, you're a firecracker. So I gotta keep myself nice, and it's those damn vaccines, I swear, but this is stuff I do. I got 2 of these. They're 20 pounds. 205 backwards. They're 20 pounds. I got 2 of these, and I pick them both up. And when I feel all squirrely inside, all like monkey, like, ugh, like I want to go off into the woods and play with the deers and the antelope roam and stuff like that, and I can't because I gotta hang out with mom, you know. Especially in spring, I start getting the call. So instead of doing, I'll take her with me. I'm this close. Car's running close to better. There's a fuel sensor that they need to change, and we're gonna be taking off here, going on adventures with Ma here soon. So I pick up these 2 dumbbells, right? I got a massage yesterday, so I don't really want to wreck it right now. And I haven't, but I'll put on a music with really fast tempo. And I'll stand here and I'll just pump this iron as fast as I can, as hard, and I grip it as hard as I can. See, that's cool. And Mom, that I think, see, that's probably why you do it to your plants. Didn't you say you do that with your plants? Because you know the significance. Imagine, I have this thing that the hearing test lady told me about. It's for tinnitus. Because losing your hearing isn't about your ears, it's about your mind. Losing my strength isn't about my body getting weak, it's about my mind and all the toxins and trauma. My mind is like Swiss cheese, because whether you get hit in the head or you see something traumatic, it creates like a dark spot on your mind, and then it kills cells. It's like a pew, like a little EMP in your brain. And then, like, when scary stuff happens, it keeps attacking, and that's how people get, like, brain tumors and stuff, because they repetitive thinking and not exercising in proper flow. It's like, all it is a fat sack of flab. That's what your brain is, and it's like people don't exercise it. So that's why us 2 spirits are here to teach people, like, do silly things, like just screw around, like you always write with your right hand. Try writing with your left. And don't write forward, write backwards. Do mirror things. You know? You gotta, we're an instrument, like one of these. I can't blow on it because Mom's sleeping. I want to learn, I gotta make a poster so I can take it to Sid's, the store here in town, the supermarket, food market. I'm going to make a poster and see if anybody teaches lessons. I want to play this. I want to make the trumpets of heaven sound in Taos. And then I got because I picture music. I want to take singing lessons too. That'd be dope. If you email me at straightpeoplelikeRainbows2@gmail.com. And maybe we could meet up on the internet over Zoom or something, and you can give me I'll pay you, of course. Your time is worth it. I'd love to learn. I've had this thing since I was like 22. I've been carrying it around. I know how to blow on it. I just don't want to because mom. I can get this bitch to blow. I just don't know the key, and I'm left-handed, so this will help. That's that. That is that. See, I get starstruck with shit like that. Like because I studied Dizzy Gillespie when I went to music 101 or 102 in North Campus of Omaha. I had to take a music class, and then that's when I started going to the opera, is because I could get extra credit, and I had a sponsor that would get free tickets because she sang for Opera Omaha. Just they're instruments of God. People are. That's what I see. We're supposed to be an instrument of God, is that we're supposed to put people in a meditate state in the no place space where all the data and information is held. I have this receipt from when I got it serviced. This was, the date is June 10th, 2013. That was my 11-year anniversary of sobriety. Right? This guy, Sarah Vaughn, I know the name, but I can't remember who that is. I went up to Seattle when I lived in Oregon, and I got a signed copy and a book and I was like right here. He looked right at that Indian philosopher. He's kind of a snake oil salesman. Sadhguru. I didn't touch him or anything. I think it's weird to touch people you don't know. See, I think, because I have a broad range, because I grew up with the influences of, like, the Four Seasons. And it makes me sick that they have that guy up there all... I'm not a fan of Deepak. I think he's a shill. I think I haven't followed Sadhguru since I saw him, because he's a tape. He plays the same thing over and over. And there's so many homeless people that I passed between Salem, Oregon, and Seattle when I went to see him, and then I'm like, dude, none of these people benefit that he gets to travel around and have big bouquets of freaking $1,000 bouquets of flowers, and, you know, just because he likes flowers. But, you know, that don't help the community, any community he goes to. Yeah, the scripts. Yep. So this guy, he played trumpet. I thought, he's like, hey, don't you have a trumpet? Because he heard me talk about it. He's like, bring it in. I'll tune it up for you. And I thought he was like being an AA buddy, you know. I'm not anybody's buddy in AA. They're just a bunch of cult freaking participants too. So I wouldn't play their reindeer games. He brought it back to me, and it had this bill in it, and I was like, oh, okay, he was just getting business. All right, that's cool. I don't know if he's still alive. His name was Max Poe, and he played trumpet for the United States Air Force military band. So, like, when Bob Hope and all that, stoke up America, gotta believe in America. You know, look, Bob Hope believes in America. You believe in Bob Hope, right? It's all, yay, America. It's all the propaganda bullshit. Just so they can make money. That doesn't help single moms and dads. You know, I'm all for the underdog, because I grew up the underdog. And so all this other shit it's all production. Like, and then what they realize, it's like that whole pornography industry of give them an inch and they'll take a mile. Let people do whatever they want. You like Don Rickles more? You know who my influence was? Like, one of my first movies I ever saw, was Don Knotts, but it was his voice, and it was his animation. I like the people that are really animated. And my face is very expressionate, and I would go to plays in Omaha, and I would sit in the audience, and I'd go, ooh, ah, God. You know, like, I was participating with the show because my grandparents took me to the melodrama. And the actors during intermission would go back and work in concessions, and then you'd leave a tip, and everybody in the whole room would go, "Thank you for the tip," You know, it's participation. And actors would come out and say, you have a nice face. Yes, the incredible Mr. Limpet. I mention him a lot. I didn't really like the astronaut one. That wasn't my line. But see, you know who my bloodline is? A long lost relative from grandma's bloodline, the Waltons, is a man named Isaac Walton. And Isaac Walton, there's still a foundation in the dude's name. He's a lizard. He's the whites or the lizards. They're the bloodline with no soul, and they merge with the soulful, like the fallen angels. They're the lizards. The colonials, the control dominate. They're the lizards. So I have half lizard blood. That's why my native indigenous blood has to work harder to compensate for my desire to want to dominate and control with my lizard blood. And so Isaac Walton wrote a book called The Angler. And it was the first published book about fishing that ever existed. And I didn't find out about this until, like, I told my grandma before she died, I said, Grandma, I'm starting to take up fishing. I like fishing. It's peaceful. I like it. And she's like, well, that sounds fitting, considering, you know, Isaac Walton is my blah, 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 wrote this book. So, like, genetics is magnetics. Like, we have propensities for behavior based on who we were related to generations ago. And then I see that, like, I mean, that Biff is what I call the tutor. I call him Biff. I don't even want to dignify the dumbass by saying his name, because he's just a nepo bitch baby. It's not all he's been his whole life. And so I don't have any respect for him. You know, and people that, oh, he's for us, he's a what? No, he's not. Dudes like him are never for anybody but for themselves. If somebody else gets advantage, sure, yeah, he's not going to hate it for you. But dudes like him are always about where he wants to put it, when he can put, because my dad is one of him too. It's just creepy. They're leches. They call them leches. Yeah. And so I'm putting blast on how DC and Hollywood are the same, and they don't like it because they're going to get their budgets taken away. Their Black Ops budgets are butt stuff budgets as far as I'm concerned. It's them building soundstage so we can go to the moon again when we didn't go the last time. And it's just, nothing they say is creditable. The freaking Pentagon hasn't passed an audit in however long, but they put people in jail for that. It doesn't, this country is going down, and I'm not sad for it. I'm really not. Hey, did you get to hear the letter of recommendation that my buddy wrote to me? So, like, I know it's all bullshit. And then I tell the world, hey, they're bullshit over here. Hey, look, they're bullshit. And they're like, no, Marge, shut up. Marge, shut up. Marge. Marge, shut up, Marge. You're telling our secrets. You're making us look bad. No, you're making yourself look bad because you did the shit. And then you made me have to watch the shit that you did. And that makes me bleh. And then I got to keep seeing the shit that you made me watch because you just wanted to go out and do a bunch of shit. That's nasty. That's gross. I'd rather be a prude any day of the week. Prude. Celibate, no sex having, whatever. I get raunchy. I'm trying not to. We'll just leave it at prude. Celibate, almost a decade. You know? And then I think about all these people, like the level of freaking STDs, just people out, just they feel so awful. They just want to do anything to feel. Do you have a video? I'm going to look up your channel. I might have already looked up your channel. I look up. Did I? Okay. DV, what? DV. Is there an ampersand or whatever? The amp. Ant. DV. God, my head hurts. I think I had too good of a day. See, I can't have too good of a day. It's just as taxing on me as if I have too hard of a day. So I gotta keep it nice and even keel. DB. I lost your. Luna, you want to go outside, honey bear? D. Vincent W. that a big W or a little W? There it is. All right, there you are. I will come check it out. It's funny. The first video I see right there of yours is right there, right? See, I think our barcodes are our social security number. The dog is my grandfather. Oh, that's the name of the video. Mom, is your nose running? Is that why you got up in the middle of the night, honey? I got a massage yesterday, and the lady does this thing on my sinuses. Like, she'll do this to clear my sinuses, and then I'll be like, I need a Kleenex. Well, I got tired. After like 3 times of saying, so what I do now is before my massage starts, I grab Kleenex, because I know that there's going to be 2 parts during my massage that I'm going to need it. And so I tried it on Mom last night. And it worked, and she's like, her nose instantly started dripping. I said, oh man, dang, hold on a sec, I got this, hold on, hi pretty girl, did you want to go walk around in the room? Want to go outside? Go potty? Good girl? Want to go outside? Good girl. I am freezing. I am very cold. Luna's losing her marbles. She's gonna go be with her brothers at the Rainbow Bridge. I can feel it. So I have this, and I like to show people that. Now I see this everywhere. Because, now look at what the star's doing. They're all upside down. Ugh. It's not the act. That's alright. Dude, I'm not all my videos. I'm here to expose how things really are. And truth is uplifting. Authenticity is uplifting. Love is a lie. Love is a psyop. It's a tool of manipulation that people have used, to put themselves in a better advantage. So I'll let them do anything. But I'll check out your videos. That's how I look at it. Like everybody I never talk to anymore they all said they love me at some point, like that. When people say they love me, that don't help me wipe Mom's ass. That don't give me a day off. I haven't had a day off since 2017 where I could just go off and be by my own self. Exactly. Like I love Mom, and when I hear like Rick Levine and Leo Cup and Bob Phoenix and all these men that deem themselves of importance, and then they tell stories. Like I heard the other day that Leo Cub, he was talking about, I had to deal with my daughter's vomit for the first time too. And I'm like, your kid's like 3 years old, isn't she? And that's the first time. So your wife is doing all this gross shit that you don't want to do because you're a Leo and you don't like touching poop. Well, I don't like touching poop in people's vomit either. But Mom doesn't like sitting in her own feces either. So I override the things that I don't like, that are icky, to help somebody feel better in their life. And I just wish more people did in that on planet Earth. But they'd rather go, chase the stadiums. And I knew people that their goal in life, their greatest ambition was to, one of them was in a wheelchair. So you get in a wheelchair from selling a bad drug dealer, you get all the handicap privileges for being a dumbass. So their life aspiration is to travel around and go to all the NFL stadiums. That's their homage, their ritual. It's retarded. But I guess she wipes his ass, so it all out. No, maybe they have a nurse. I don't know how that works. But people don't know people have never wiped the ass of another human, whether they care about them or not. You don't really know what the game is about, do you? Let me go see if my dog wants back here. Good girl. You like that, huh? In the mood. Oh, it's nice and cozy in here now. From going outside to coming back in here. What is the temperature? No, I'll browse. If you're still there, if you see like, cause I'll every now and again, cause I look at stats. I'm always tracking numbers and stuff. So I got my YouTube studio. I hit 13,000 or 1,300 yesterday. The only number I cared about, I'm like, one day I'm gonna hit 1K. It took me over 7 years. I am the worst YouTuber on the planet. but I'm consistent. I'm consistent. You're in Cape on the Canaveral. It's 50 degrees. So that's what, Florida? What's the latitude, longitude there? God, my head. But when you look at your analytics, right, you could like bloop bloop, right? And then like every now and again I'll strike a chord on somebody and they'll go back. See, I just had a flag on mine the other day. Let's see, Latin Laud. Because we live on a radio is how I look at it. And like latitudes or frequencies, and then we're the song and we turn into the story based on our heart space. And we're manipulated. We're just because they play us sad songs and then we spend money and save them, save me, save you, save me. Lat and long for Cape Canaveral. You're so I have a plus or minus 2 rule. So you're closest to the 30th parallel. I've been on the 30th. Wait, maybe I haven't. Let me look at the map. So you're west 80. I don't really mess with west. I should more. Team music and flagging my music. There's the map. Okay. So I've been to Miami and I've been to Fort Lauderdale. My brother was trafficked by some rich, important figures. Like, he met this boy at the pool that he befriended when I had swimming lessons, and he said and this guy's like, hey, come over and hang out with me. But he lived in Kissimmee, Florida. I just found out. I put it together. I was like, dude, that fucker got to go to Disney World and I didn't get to go. See, he always got to do stuff I didn't get to go because I'm the scapegoat and he's the golden child. I'm the throwaway. So they love to torment me and they love to exclude me because it hurts my feelings and then they want me to get mad. But I know about Carl Jung and Edgar Casey and all this and Dolores Cannon and all this other earthly stuff. So they're living their lives for benefits of this world, and I'm living my existence of this world for lives in the future and in the past to make those right. So, but I remember because I talked to him on the phone and I could hear all this splashing and pool party in the backyard. And he just, I mean, he would do things, he would come back different. Like, yeah, he never wanted to hang out with me, and I'd always have to stay home. And then if mom would make him go, I'd have to go with him to the like his friend's house because mom wanted a break from my constant chatter. She need quiet, and just need a break from. Everybody needs a break from me, so I like to give people breaks from me. That's why I meditate, so I can take a break from myself. And then he would be really mean to me, but he'd never get in trouble because what's my single mom gonna do that wants a break from me to begin with? Oh, the scapegoat. The destiny swappies. I just tell people, try not to take me so seriously because I'm just doing the best I got with what I am. And I am what I am. And I could be so many things because I picture so many things in my mind. Because I grew up on like cartoons and stuff. Grew up on like where they drop cartoon anvils on people's head, but then the mobsters and the gangsters and the Bobby Coyles of the world, they like to do that shit in real life, and then they have buddies that are in construction, and then they just bury the bodies under construction. So how many, it's not just shallow graves in the desert, New Mexico and stuff. I was going to the grocery store the other day, and my car starts sputtering, right? Now it has a fuel dispenser. Now spirits travel there. When people die, and they die in disruptive ways, they get into electricity, they get into things that cause disruption because they want to disrupt things in the way that their life was disrupted, to put it simply. And then after I get home, I look up on the internet, and now I don't subscribe to Taos News. I look at it every now and again, but I don't subscribe to them. I just, but mostly I find out about more stuff from the news media source in Albuquerque about Taos than I get directly from Taos. This Albuquerque Journal right there. And the other day, there's an article about, how many articles have they put on? This is just it's all of it. If you scroll here with the notion that DC and Hollywood are the same, and that all these people are just like contorted to play out the same story, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. Same things, like homeless campment burns up. Why are there any homeless? Why do people have to suffer so much? Give them a place to live. Come on, it'll be great. No, they don't deserve it. They didn't work hard. You live in New Mexico. You have your job because your primo fucking had that job, and they're primo and generationally nepotistic. So there's a story. Where is it? This is one day ago. How many days ago was it? Like, they have fucking hockey in New Mexico. Really? That's stupid. Water is kind of an issue here. It's kind of like water is life, like everywhere else situation. But here, let's fucking freeze it and scoot across it and throw our gloves off every now and again and fight about what? Not sure. Oh, and this is their. See, Mom's uncle is Larry Cisneros. He is a famous New Mexico boxer. I saw pictures of him. We stand the same. It's genetics. We mirror our ancestors. We act how they do. But I don't want to fight. The fight in me is resisting my urge to want to fight because the urges are in me. Let me see if I can find it. I don't know how many days ago. A hit and run crash that killed an off-duty officer. It goes cold. You want to know why it goes cold? Because it wasn't a machismo. Cisneros, that's my mom. Thank you, Cisneros. That's Larry Cisneros is my mom's uncle. He was my mom's mom is Cecilia Cisneros. But she never got the nepotism, so I'm gonna cash in on this shit. I'm gonna go ever. I met senators and be like, hey, we're here to cash in on the nepotism that my mom never got because she was born and not raised in Cuesta. What do we get? What do we get? What do we get? Because you guys got fucking living in the lap of luxury your whole fucking lives. You never had to enlist and do a bunch of bullshit. I mean, they didn't because they just got to go be a part of the, sound stage of the moon landing. So they're paid actors. They're not, defenders of freedom and democracy. They can't even fucking change a tire. You know how I know? Because I was the person that in maintenance in the military that had to fucking turn the wrenches to make sure that the production was set so the planes can go over and go boom, boom. We have to defend ourselves against you over in your house. We're going to shit on your floor. Come in and just show you how big our wiener is and throw it up on a table and dominance and control. And you know what else is funny? You know what else is another statistic I found? Last year they spent $58 million on male enhancement drugs in the military in the government system. Because they have to do that stuff to make themselves feel like men, and then they come back here and they're like, God, we don't have anybody to abuse here. Our wives and our kids have all alienated us, so they have all black. They've all got no contact because we are such pieces of shit on planet Earth. Anyway, the place I can't find the article, but the place that I drove past where my car began to stutter. Like, don't have me go to the airport and have to deal with this guy because I will clown the fuck out of you. Next time I see you, you better be able to see your feet without a mirror, sir, because you're getting paid. So you have a standard that you need to be in, dude. And that isn't it. I don't care if it's red or green chilies. It needs to be neither for a while. Home slice. Homie. Anyway, so I just casually see a article about how a woman, how that skull was found in some dude's front yard. And I'm like, yeah, every time I hear that story, and over there, over up the way where this dude is selling a bus, like back in there was like a homeless encampment, and they found somebody beheaded back there, don't give people useful things to do with their time. They do unuseful things like anatomy. Unsolicited anatomy. Adam Kokish? No. Wait. Let me look. Adam Ko-A. What was the spelling again? Kokesh. Kokesh. I have another channel that I haven't done anything with. It's called Third Eye Activism. I coined it. So I'm third eye activated on TikTok. I'm third eye activated on Instacrap. I have a third eye activated on Facebook. See, you were an 04. See, I saw, he was wait a minute. 43, San Francisco, February. What's February 1? Oh, my brain is not functioning. Ash Fork, Arizona. I'll look up the latitude and longitude. See, but that's the thing. Is him men like him, they get the exposure, but his life story is not near as fucking remarkable as mine. It hasn't. Yeah, of course he does. Of course he has a reservation. I'm trying to make a reservation here in Taos. I'm trying to make a place where, people can come and talk about the bullshit that they did over there in the name of bullshit without, the world going, you're crazy. Come hang out with Marge. I'll make you good food. I'll give you caramel that I make with frequency-infused healing frequencies into the butter that I will grow the flower, the green flower, the medicine, the true medicine. I will grow the flower. I will make the butter. I will infuse the healing frequencies in the butter to make the caramel. You come visit me. I will show you, I will teach you what your body can, how it can be at peace. Because people are in such a heightened state all the time. They're always expecting something that their body forgets what it feels like not to expect anything. I have a massage lady yesterday. She did the rock in I get so excited about stuff. She'll do stuff. I'll be talking and my brain disconnects, and I'll just be like, I go offline. But she used the Himalayan salt rocks, and she's rubbing them up, and she's like, your body is absorbing the heat from these rocks as soon as I put them on. He was a friend of yours. What is he doing now, though? That's the thing. It's like, I know what people were when I was with them, but what, and they've been so quiet. What have they seen that they're not telling now? Okay, question. See, because I was on Crete in 03. And that is how I began to see how DC and Hollywood are the same. Because he's February 1st. What is that? I think, is that Aquarius? I think that's Aquarius. So he's wishy-washy. Because I'm water. I'm wishy-washy. I go back. I'm mutable. I'm mostly mutable. That's where I come from, that heart space. Wishy-washy. Like, I have to try to be harder to be consistent because I have the potential to be such a flake. I don't want to do that anymore. About face. Zodiac. Yeah, he's Aquarius. So, let me go back to him. And this is how I interpret people. I'm just doing kind of like a mock read up on people. What was his name again? I lost it. Because my arrow back won't work. What was his name again? Adam. Actually, now that I think about it, his name does kind of ring a bell. Okay, so his parents. Oh, okay. He's a radio host, so he got his connection. He don't gotta see people keep doing what they do till they get to a means to an end, and then they stop doing it. So, Libertarian Party. Running a single issue platform. See, but he's still part of the reindeer games. I'm trying to get people to recognize that politics are just reindeer games. Like, we don't got to do nothing, they say, as long as we keep our hands to ourselves and don't hurt nothing. Like, and systems exist as welfare systems for the employees that make up the system. They have nothing to do with helping up, like, the constituents. Welfare has nothing to do with helping the single mom. It has everything to do with driving the beast system. So he's an Aquarius in the Marines. Now, when I was on Crete, they had 550 Marines that they brought there, because that's what Crete was. It was like the brain. It was like, we're all at here. Let me show you this. I've been taking pictures of my whole life, and I'm on Crete, you know. They nowhere in my briefing did they say if you have a little disposable camera in your backpack that you can't take pictures of the flight line. They didn't say that to me. So I did. I had one. So I got pictures like this. These are all helicopters. I saw every make and model of every war weapon. I gave a pilot a ride to a B-1 bomber and got to go up in the cockpit, and I thought it was the coolest shit. And then later I'm doing a video in Oregon, and you could see it come over me. Like, I heard the screams of every person that died that pilot dropped a bomb on. I have trouble because I can't stand Leonardo DiCaprio. Because I see him for who he is, and he just plays roles. And do you see the orb? There's even an orb in my picture. So I was aged, so I was right there. And then I got these, right? This is what the it's so guys can go blow steam off and go on vacation. I use just the female version. Oh wait, that's not. But this is great, you know, I got, you know, they go run. I never wanted to ride on a camel. I think it's mean. But how many dudes that I serve with have pictures of them, they have swords and they ride on the camel. Oh, the movie, okay, if it's old, thank you for clarifying, then I like old shit, because I grew up on Turner Music. So this is what war is. 10 swimming pools, paid vacation, tax-free, hazardous duty when we're the hazard. This is on our ride, because I stayed at a hotel called the Panorama. And then I was on Suda Bay.